Hey, what's going on everybody, and a warm welcome back to the Whiskey Cove. And on today's video, we have another store haul coming your way. Run that video. Alright then folks, hopefully everybody out there is having a fantastic start to the new year. So this store haul kind of encompasses towards the back end of November there and mostly all the month of December here. I'm trying to not buy too many things early in the year. I generally don't. I generally ramp up a little bit of my whiskey spend in like summer and then the fall and the winter. So as we always do here at the Cove, we always like to show you what I've been drinking. So if you're someone who watches these videos, the store haul videos, well, quite a lot, you'll notice we didn't really get through many bottles last month. But this month, you know, we try to make a good job at it. So we had a few friends around and we just kind of killed off a couple of bottles here. Let's start. Managed to kill off an Evan Williams eggnog. If you haven't tried this stuff is really good, especially around this time of year or Christmas time of year. Also killed off an Irish cream like a Blarney's. This is a Sazerac bottle. So this is owned by Sazerac as well, which is really unique because I didn't even know that was the case. But I think this was like 10, 20 bucks, and then this was like $11. So awesome Irish creams and bourbon creams. Next up is going to be the Bernheim Original Kentucky Straight Wheat Whiskey. Really great bottle of whiskey, really had a lot of time for this. Had some really nice cherry notes there, a little bit of sweetness, and like the wheat comes through really good on this. And heck, it's a 7-year age statement for like 30 bucks as well. So we managed to kill that off too. And then next up we have two Tennessee Tasters. We did a video with some of these here. I managed to kill these two off. Killed the other third one off a couple of months ago. But this was the barrel reunion finished in red wine barrels, and this was the twin blend. Twin blend was probably the best one I've had to date. However, this red wine one was severely lacking. I wouldn't recommend getting that one. So that was the pair there. And then also what we killed on New Year's Eve was the Bourbon brand County Stout. So I like to drink a couple of stouts every now and again, but this one was super unique because this is a 10-year-old stout. So I bought it and I kind of just aged it for a bunch of time. And I have all the years from 2014 up to 2022. And I just plan on opening one every New Year's Eve. And we opened up this one. Not as boozy as maybe the newer ones that are coming out lately. I think that probably has something to do with the age there. More coffee notes definitely there. I think I paid like $10 for it when it first came out, and obviously that was like 10 years ago. Next up is the George Remus Straight Bourbon Whiskey Cask Strength Store Pick. Not my type of whiskey, but we got together with some friends and we managed to kill this guy off as well, about $60 for that. And also we managed to kill off a Dickel Bottled in Bond. This is an 11-year. I think I paid like $40 for that as well. So happy to knock that one out. And then lastly, we managed to kill off, and if you were to watch our worst whiskies of the year, a lot of my friends wanted to come around and try this, and we had some good conversation about it as well. Managed to kill that off as well. And this was like $115, never again. And if you haven't seen the worst whiskies of 2022, go and watch that. Spoiler alert, as I said, this is on him. So with that being said, let's have a look at some of the whiskies that are coming into the Whiskey Cove. Again, I like to do these videos so you folks out there can see what I'm drinking and seeing what's coming into the Whiskey Cove, and maybe some of the stuff that we can, maybe some of the stuff then that you can expect coming up on videos as well. And as you probably noticed by the thumbnail, you definitely want to stay around for the last two. So first of all, I picked up a Knob Creek 12. When I was doing the 12-year bourbon challenge, blind whiskey, I noticed I didn't have a Knob Creek 12, which was surprising because I've had it in the past and I've really liked it. However, I just needed to find one, and I was able to pick this one up for MSRP. I think I paid like $65, $64 for it. So very happy with that because, like I said, I really liked it before. It's probably my favorite Jim Beam product is probably the Knob Creeks. So if you're able to get one of these for MSRP, it's a 12-year bourbon as well. So definitely pick that up there. Next up, I was able to get, and this was the first time I've actually seen one of these before, but I've heard that they're dropping a little bit around kind of like the nation here, and that is the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. But this is actually single barrel pick here. It doesn't say the age on it here, and maybe I might message Russell's to find out that information, but I've tried to contact them before about another bottle of whiskey and that age, and they didn't get back to me. But this is barrel number 220139. So the proof on this, ABV is 50.5% ABV. So, you know, it's a decent amount of ABV on that there. It was bottled on September 15th, 2022 from barrel number 0139, Warehouse A. On brick number 35, so very specific with where it came from. Really interesting to get into this because I've never tried the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit before, and definitely haven't tried a single barrel. And I think I paid for this guy $56.99, so not a terrible value for money at all. I think that's right around MSRP. Really excited to get into this one though. And then staying with the Wild Turkey family in a way, we managed to pick up a pair of Russell's single barrel picks here. I think they've changed the front label from previous ones. So I think the private label used to look like this, but then they look like they've kind of doing these labels from now on. So different store picks, or different from different stores I managed to get these from. So one was from a local store here in Denver, and it was an 8-year-old pick. Again, I think these all come in at the same ABV. It's 55%. Yeah, they all come right in right there. So I got an 8-year-old one, and that was from Warehouse M, floor 4. And then I also got an 11-year-old one. I've never seen them at an 11 years old before, so I was super happy to find this. Warehouse F, floor 4 as well. So I love the Russell's Reserve picks, and I do believe they're the best value for money out there. So for these, I paid $69.99 for the 8-year-old one, and then for the 11-year-old one I paid $69.99 as well. So that seems to be the going rate here in Colorado, and I think, like I said, I think they're just great value for money all around. And then next up was 2 presents actually. So I have so one of my family members lives in San Francisco, and I have a friend who drinks whiskey, but mainly Scotch, and he was asking me to see if I can get a hold of one of these. So, you know, Santa, I guess, in a way, brought me these for Christmas, and I'm interested to see how these are. They're the same bottles of whiskey, but I'll gift one to the friend who was asking me for one, and then I'll crack one, maybe do a review on this other one. It's a very unique bottle. So this is called the Original Gold Bar, and as you can see, it kind of looks exactly like a gold bar. So this is called the Original Gold Bar Premium Blend, and this is labeled the catch there. So if you can see that, it talks a little bit about a famous catch from the San Francisco 49ers there. So this is blend number 889, 80 proof or 40% ABV, and then it's blended whiskey finished in California wine casks. So I looked on the website, I've looked everywhere on this bottle, and I wasn't able to find where they sourced it from. They just say on the website that it's like sourced from all around the US and then blended to create their specific profile. This won 2016 double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, so that's super unique. It is low ABV, like I said, 40%, and it is a finished whiskey, so it's going to be interesting to see what the whiskey kind of, or the wine kind of cuts through on the whiskey, because it says the wine casks from the Napa Valley. So, you know, I guess we'll wait and see just how good that was. I think this is around about $50 as well, so not terrible value for money. I just hope it's just not too gimmicky as well. You know, it is a kind of gold bar, but you know, it won 2 awards at the San Francisco Awards in 2016. So I managed to get those 2 bottles as well. It's getting a little bit full over here. And we still have a bunch of bottles left. This, like I said, December is probably, end of November, December is probably the busiest time for me in terms of buying whiskeys, because I'm just trying to like buy whiskeys or pick some stuff up to try to get more entries into like raffles and stuff like that. So we managed to get, this was actually a trade. This is the Stranahan Snowflake 2022. So if you're someone who watches this channel frequently, you might have noticed some Stranahans right back here, and I had some Mountain Angel ones. So I switched the Mountain Angel batch 2 for this year's Stranahan Snowflake, because last year I went to the event and I had a ticket, and I was like 1500th in line, and they were giving people like 4 bottles to buy, and I wasn't able to get one. I had to trade for that. So instead I just go into the event this time. I traded for this Snowflake. Again, this is the 2022 release there, and if you haven't seen the Snowflake bottles, they kind of look a little something like that there as well. Notoriously very good whiskey for the most part. Last year's was just okay, but the 2020 one was fantastic, and I'm hoping this follows suit there as well. This ultimately ended up costing me like $110 because that's how much I paid for the Mountain Angel. I think these generally go for about $200, so I still had a pretty good deal, I think so. Next up was a present for me for Christmas. I guess someone, a family member who watches the channel, knows how much I rave about the Blue Note uncut and filtered store picks. And this was a store pick local here in Colorado. But what's really fun about it, or what's really good about it, is that the ABV is 62.2%. So that's really high. You know, anytime you can get these over 60%, it definitely takes that flavor profile to a new level. Not saying that the ones below 60% aren't great, but just something special about the ones above 60%. And these generally come in at about 35, 40 bucks. Excellent value for money. And again, this is Blue Note Duke Joint Whiskey Single Barrel Store Pick. A couple more left here before we get into the really fun stuff. Managed to pick up 2 more stouts here, and again had to replenish some of the 2022 here. I did drink one for New Year's Eve, so I did buy this one before that anyway, and like I said before, I normally buy 2 or 3, so that counted for that. And I also managed to pick up a single barrel Barley Alive. So this is an Argonaut from Denver. They did like a single barrel stout pick, which was really unique. So this is an Imperial Bourbon barrel aged stout with vanilla, cacao nibs, and toasted coconut. Any stout that has toasted coconut is after my own heart. And this was $11.99, so not too bad. You don't get that much, but I think it's just super unique there as well. I also managed, like I said, December's been a really nice month for me. Also managed to get a pair of 4 Roses barrel strength store picks. Well, one I traded for, because as you can probably see a little bit off camera, I'm trying to collect all the line. So I traded for that double one I picked up. So I traded that one to get this one. This is a single barrel pick from Total Wine. It's 9 years and 11 months old. It's the OESF. So that's 75% corn, 20% rye, and 5% malted barley. I needed this one. There's only one I need, and I think that's the OBO or OBSO. I have a piece of paper and I just wrote down. So the one I only need left now is the OBSO. So that's the only one I have left, and then I've kind of completed the line, if you like. So I managed to trade that one for one of the other ones I bought. And then this one I picked up is the OBSK, and this is 9 years and 7 months old as well. I paid for this one, I paid $89.99, which is pretty much retail. And like I said, I bought 2 of these, so I traded the other one for this, so I paid $89.99 for that one as well. So I just need that last one to complete the collection, and then we're done. And then lastly, and surely what we're all here to see, which Stagg did I pick up this December? So again, you know, I put a lot of eggs into different lotteries as well. I was really hoping to kind of get something special and something unique to bring down to the Cove. We can try it, we can do some blinds. I didn't know if I was gonna win, I didn't know what I would get. And I had 2 phone calls from 2 lotteries, and one said I was able to win, the first one was, and I was like 140th on the line of like the list. So everything above me had basically gone. I could get like an EH a single barrel, or this bottle was still available, and that was the Stagg Junior. We still have one more bottle left, so don't just go yet. So this is Stagg Junior. This is 64.35% ABV. So this is, I believe, the batch 17, which I'm really fortunate because I haven't got this batch. When it dropped in Colorado originally, I just couldn't find it whatsoever, missed out on it. Really excited and really happy that I was able to get this, but this wasn't the only Stagg I was able to get. So I had another phone call, and that was back in December 9th, and I paid $118.79 for this next bottle. I paid retail for this. I paid like $65 for that, so I was really happy. So I paid $118.79 for this. This is George T. Stagg, and this is this year's, which is really fortunate as well. Like they called me and they said the way they do it is you don't get a selection, you just get pulled. Basically, I guess that they have like a list, and they say that they have George T. Stagg. They're like, okay, this bottle, George T. Stagg, they'll pull it in, then that person gets that bottle, so they don't have a choice. So they called me saying that I had this, so I was super grateful, super happy with this. This is this year's, coming in at 69.35%. Oh, so close to that hazmat range. But I'm hearing really great things about this George T. Stagg, and I'm just blessed and completely humbled that I was able to get this, because the last time I was able to try George T. Stagg was at a friend's house. He cracked out the 2019 version, which was great, and that was the only time I've ever tried the George T. Staggs. But now we have this bad boy. We'll get this cracked, and we'll do a blind, like 4 or 5 way blind between some of the other Staggs, and just see if George T. Stagg is worth how rare it is compared to the other Stagg Juniors, or now Staggs. So again, very humbled and very blessed I was getting these 2 solid bottles. Hopefully you'll see them on a review here shortly. If not, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you press that bell button as well so you can get all the notifications, including when we crack this guy open as well. So as we always say around here, folks, as we drink through the world's whiskies, one glass at a time, cheers.